Okay, welcome to the members of the Chess Club of Fairfield County. Continuing this video series on my second book, Opening Originals, over here, available in the Chess Club of Fairfield County shop, which I highly recommend checking out. And without further ado, this is the game Vachier-Lagrave, one of the top players in the world, versus Grandmaster Papagiannou from Warsaw 2013. And this time we're going to look at, if you've looked at my series on the Scandinavian, this time we're going to look at my suggestion for white on how to treat the Scandinavian. Obviously the main move by far is knight to c3, and in this case black has at least three reasonable options: queen to d8, which was the subject of the video series about my book on the Queen d8 Scandinavian, and queen to a5 and queen to d6. And, I suggested queen to d8 if you are the kind of player who wants to focus more on, positional concepts and not have to worry so much about, tactics and sharp play. Although we did see there are some sharp lines there too if black chooses. But, it must be said that from the white side, if a black player plays queen to a5 or queen to d6, and they're well prepared, then things can get quite sharp. And white can also be, if white is not prepared, white can be in some danger as well. And so that's why I recommend the much less common knight to f3. And here the idea is that we're still going to gain a tempo on the queen. We're simply going to delay that tempo, and we're going to play d4 and then c4. And the idea is to get the 2 pawns in the center. And that is a stronger central structure than having the knight on c3, I think, because that knight on c3 is often blocking the c pawn. And if you've watched my videos on the Scandinavian, which I recommend that you go and watch on my book on the Scandinavian, you'll see that there were some games where the white c pawn on c2 can become a target and can become an issue. But so black really needs to play, aggressively here and use the time that his queen gets to stay in the middle effectively. And almost everybody, who's a strong player will play bishop to g4, bishop e2, knight c6. And so black is putting pressure on the d4 square and preparing queenside castling. And, then we're going to have an opposite side castling situation, which can get quite sharp. Now, here, I think the main move is d4 by far. And there's, not a lot of games from there, but there is some sharp theory, some sharp, very interesting lines. But Maxime, he castles right away. And now I suppose it's probably a little bit late for d4, because if d4, there's bishop takes knight and then queen takes pawn. So he has this very unique concept, which really I'd never seen before or since. But I think it's just absolutely fascinating. Which is to, after h3, which is essentially to play without d4 at all. And I think if you play in this way, first of all, I think you're quite likely to get this position on the board against the Scandinavian if you play knight f3. And then secondly, I think that if you play in this way, you're really going to catch your opponent unawares.